Fan Ramen.
Who's hungry?
We are here to read your fan fiction out loud.
We feature different authors and fandoms in each episode, so you'll have an entire buffet to munch on.
Opening day is November 3rd. You can find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, or your podcast app.
Check out our website for extra side dishes like bios and photos.
fanramen.com.
Subscribe ahead of time, and we'll have a table reserved for you on November 3rd.
Here's an appetizer straight from the kitchen. Al turned his head to look over his shoulder, now concerned as he cocked his head. Are you sure that's a good decision, Ed? You know what Colonel Mustang told you. You shouldn't go off alone.
Al, I'll be just fine. Just go already.
Ed retorted, with an additional roll of his eyes.
You worry too much.
Al shuffled on his feet uncomfortably before he finally shrugged his shoulders. All right, but just be quick, okay? Winry will kill us both if you're late.
Don't remind me. But don't worry, I'll be there.
And you're sure you'll be fine?
Al?
There is a criminal kidnapping and torturing state alchemists right now, you know?
Well, I only have one more arm to lose, and I really don't think he'd want it.
Ed stared at Al.
Come on, go already. At least Winry will have one of us on time.
Reminding himself of Winry's angry wrench throwing, Al's body shuddered. In seconds, he had turned around and ran off, his metal body clanking noisily and earning himself a few stares. Seconds later, Ed was alone. It didn't really bother him that he hadn't brought any weapons, even though he could be attacked at any moment. It was midday, he was surrounded by people, and on top of that, he was Edward Elric, the famed Full Metal Alchemist. According to the world, he could take on anything. But still, the fact lingered in his mind that several other powerful state alchemists had been attacked and tortured before him. Some had died, and those alchemists were older and much more experienced than he was.
Oh, shut up.
Ed muttered to himself. It wasn't like he could do anything about it anyways. Paying for the rest of the apples he'd gathered, he was on his way. As he walked, an almost dark presence settled over him. It reminded him of a bad omen or perhaps a premonition of sorts. Suddenly, he wished Al had stayed behind with him, but he quickly shook that thought away.
I can defend myself just fine,
he said to himself.
I don't need a 10-foot piece of armor to protect me.
He had hardly taken another step before someone grabbed him and pulled him into a nearby alleyway. Widely caught off guard, Ed could only let himself be dragged painfully forward before being slammed against the brick wall. Wincing as his head collided with the stone, Ed was briefly blinded from seeing his attacker.
So, you're the famous Full Metal Alchemist, huh?
A man's voice suddenly asked him. Ed gritted his teeth together, peering up and trying to see the man's face from under his mask.
Dude, that was sweet! Jump on board the lunch wagon with us on our Facebook page.
Be sure to subscribe today on YouTube, SoundCloud, or Apple Podcasts.
Or any podcast app. We're everywhere! Woo!
fanramen.com. I'm Lindy.
I'm Ralph, and this is Fan Ramen.